And so begins my little exploration of Nutec's NDI scan converter application and what it can deliver from a handful of webcams. So I'm going to try and be structured about this, but not take too long. I'll make one video for each little webcam. And I want to begin with a brand new PC here, fresh build of Windows in any case, and I'm going to use the Logitech camera settings application to confirm that we have an HD Pro webcam C920 set up, and it's all at defaults, and I've got all the usual controls available. And I just have a little color card against a white background, not even particularly well lit. Honestly, the nature of the output, the rendition of what's coming off the camera, I don't care about. I just want to see what the applications can do with the camera. And so we are going to use two applications. We are going to fundamentally put Nutec's NDI scan converter under test. It starts up, it does its thing over here. I'm going to right click over that and say, let us pick the HD Pro webcam C920 as the video source. Then we're going to move over here and we're going to use NDI Studio Monitor as a way of confirming what the scan converter application can do. And so we tell it, I'd like to look at this computer, and then you pick the HD Pro webcam C920 as the source. And lo and behold, we see what the camera is seeing. Except that at default settings, we see a VGA resolution image. You can see up here in the title bar, the source is displayed and also the resolution and the frame rate is displayed. It's a little weird that it's displaying VGA resolution, but here we go. We can see about that. So we're going to go down here, right click over this and look at the available settings. So let's start at the top, shall we? Not auto detect, but 1920 by 1080, 30 frames per second. Hey, look at that. It gives us something akin to 1920 by 1080, 1078, except that it's doing this odd little thing of giving us 59 frames per second interlaced. We'll come back to that thought. Let's walk down this. See the different settings that are offered. 1600 by something. Yep, it does that. 1600 by 894 still says interlaced. 1280 by 720. 1280 by 718. 59.94 interlaced. Well, that's a little weird. In the menus here, you see all these things say 30 hertz, and you would presume them to be progressive since webcams don't do interlaced. 960 by 720. There we go, 960 by 720. That's a 4:3 aspect resolution. That's fine. It shows up. 800 by 600. Okay, 800 by 598 by so many interlaced frames per second. And 800 by 600 by 24 is the next offer. And look, finally it says it's going to do 800 by 600 and at 24 frames per second. You can see the image getting softer as we go along. This monitor is set for 1920 by 1080, by the way. We can come down here. Okay, 1024 by 574. It's back to its interlaced fiddly trickery. 640 by 480, okay, 30 frames. We saw that as the default. That seems to be the failure mode. 864 by 480, okay, we're back to interlaced fiddly bits. And as the resolution gets lower, and you can see the activity in the image that results from this error where it's delivering an interlace image stream versus progressive. That's going to look worse as the resolution gets lower. 24 hertz, it's back to 24p, so it's a progressive, 864 by 480, okay, it's widescreen standard def basically. And we can, there we go, we can try all of these. I don't need to give comment on them. I'm meaning to offer them up as the merely proof that I tried every setting. 640 by 358, widescreen standard def in some realms. Now we're getting down into lower resolutions that were akin to what used to be called SIF, for the early days of streaming video and video conferencing. 352 by 288. That is at least solid progressive frames. 320 by 240. And now it's back to twittering like a mad idiot. 320 by 238 and progressive. I won't go any further down here. There are settings for frame rate. These I think are fundamentally for when you're doing capture of the desktop, which I'm not doing. But I think that pretty much sums up how Scan Converter handles the world's most common webcam, being the Logitech C920. And there we are back to 1920 by 1080. It should be P30, but is doing this little twittery kind of thing. So now we'll reset and we will, I'm even going to close this out. Tell it no source. I'm going to close this out. We'll try a different webcam. But that'll be in a different video.